I am from Boston, Mass, but I've been living in New York for about 3 years now. I was at Sarah Lawrence Upstate first, and now I'm at Brooklyn College. And especially with the news over this weekend from California of this shooting, I've been thinking about this moment in my life recently. When I was 12 years old and I was taking this acting class in downtown Boston. And the most important thing I learned from it is that I'm a terrible actress, and that was absolutely not going to be my career path. But I also learned something else actually right after class when I was walking back to the Green Line, and it was 7:30, and it was like November or December, so it was already dark out. And this guy just like walked in front of me and started talking to me, and I was probably about like 2 feet shorter than I am now, and like with a ton of books in my arms, and looked like completely vulnerable, and was also still excruciatingly polite at that time, and like didn't understand that I didn't have to talk to this man. And so he's like talking to me, and I'm trying to very politely get away, like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir, like, but I have to go home, I have to get the train, blah, blah, blah. And of course he's like negotiating me away from the train, and I'm having no success, and he's like asking me like, oh, is that your math book? Like, what can you tell me about math? And it gets to the point where he has my arm in his hand, and he's like edging me towards this dark alley off of Huntington Ave, and I just don't know what to do. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? I've never been in this situation before. And this like crowd of college girls that were like totally glamorous to me at the time. I mean, it was like a Thursday night. They were going out. They were probably from Emerson or BU or whatever, with like 4-inch heels and like tight skirts and stuff. They just swarm us, and they make up a name for me. They're like, oh my God, Lindsay, like, we've been looking for you, come with us, come on. And they get me away from this guy, and they're like, okay, honey, like, where are you going? We'll walk you to the train. And on the way there, they're like, honey, you know you can say no, right? Like, you know that when random strange men come up to you, you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to be nice to them. Like, you can say no, you can ignore them, you can say fuck you if you want, but like, you don't have to be nice. And it was like kind of revolutionary for me, because I just didn't know that. Like, it wasn't that I wanted to talk to him, or that like I thought he was interesting or something. Like, I just didn't know that you could say no to like some older guy who wanted to talk to you, and that you could like ignore him or whatever. And I mean, I think about this moment a lot and what they did in terms of organizing and the work that we do, because I think that in a lot of situations, whether it's harassment or whether it's like being degraded every single day by your boss on your job, it's not that we're not brave. It's not that we don't value ourselves. It's not that we like don't care about our coworkers, but it just has the idea of like fighting back and standing up for yourself has not been introduced as a possibility. Like, it seems beyond the realm of what's polite or acceptable, or even something that has occurred to you or anyone. Like, no one tells you that it's an option to get all your coworkers together and go into your boss's office and say like, you know, you really need to give us air conditioning when it's fucking 100 degrees outside. Like, the possibility isn't there. And I think a lot of the work that we do is demonstrating to people that that is a possibility, and people can take it or leave it. Like, it's a free country. They can choose to stand up and do something, or they can't, but at least we've introduced the possibility, and that in itself can like totally revolutionize people's consciousness and change things down the line for them, even if they don't do something right now.